He's one of the classiest human beings that I've ever encountered in my life. He's a man of impeccable integrity who treated everybody the same.
Kind of the godfather. I mean, he was kind of the guy that, you thought of Wisconsin hockey.
He was just one of those guys that everybody liked and everybody wanted to be associated with, and he always found time to pay attention to your wants and needs. That was the best part about him.
Coach Sauer was a tremendous influence on my life, not only as a hockey coach, but more as a mentor and a person that always guided me in the right direction.
I mean, it didn't matter if you were the Zamboni driver or the SID or the fan in the stands that wanted to talk hockey, he had time for you.
We would go for a pregame skate on a Thursday or a morning skate on a Friday, and you'd find Jeff out in the lobby talking to somebody.
I know after we won the McNaughton Cup in 2000, he sent an email to the entire Kohl Center staff and said, "Meet me in the Zamboni corner." Took them out on the ice with the McNaughton Cup, took a picture, and made sure they all got a copy of that.
Back in 1976, I was broadcasting some of the games for the USA team, and they were playing the Czechoslovakian team. Jeff walked up to me in the press box and says, "You doing this game alone?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "No, you're not. You can't do this game alone." So he sat down and we broadcast the game together. And we got into a fun argument on the air. He goes, "You're pronouncing that wrong." And I'd say, "No, you are." And he said, "Well, I'm listening to you." And we absolutely had a blast. But that was Jeff. He was always willing to help.
He allowed us to grow within ourselves, and he didn't try to tell us who we had to be or how to do it.
I came in here with a rebellious streak, fresh off military academy, and he just let me be me.
They felt like they were allowed to have fun. They felt like they were allowed to grow up. They felt like they were allowed to make mistakes. They felt like they were allowed to maximize this moment in their lives.
The greatest skill that he had was, as a head coach for the Badgers, is to know who he had in terms of players and what to do, and to let them go out there. More art than science.
You could talk to him and relate to him on any level. If you had any questions or concerns, his office was always open.
Throughout a hockey career, you go play for a lot of coaches, but to have that background, for me, growing up in Madison, that's something that I'll always remember of him being an advocate of mine and someone that always supported me.
He loved to be on the ice. He loved to be he loved practices. He loved the direction. He was the kind of guy that he just liked to be out there doing things. And certainly, he had a persona that was bigger than life. I mean, he was a big man, and he had a big voice, and he always had a big smile on his face. And he had a real interesting way of communicating with people that, again, people just loved to be around.
How do you expand the game? Well, when it came time to start women's hockey here at Wisconsin, he was deeply involved in that.
He offered me to practice with the men's team that year because Coach Sazner was going to be out recruiting and trying to field the team for the following year, and there was a year in between for me, so I wouldn't have been playing that season. And really that spoke volumes to me about, what he was doing for women's hockey at that time and wanting it to build at the University of Wisconsin. And really, without his influence, Wisconsin hockey wouldn't be where it is today.
What excited him most about the sled hockey team was how the team came together and their chemistry. He talked about chemistry a lot with teams, and was it the right chemistry? And because he felt that working together, people could accomplish a lot.
You talk about compassion and you talk about willingness to give something back. I think that epitomized what Jeff did for us, especially the last 6 years with our sled program.
Taking over some of these national teams with players that were not fully able-bodied is not something that every coach would want to do, or every person is kind of emotionally wired to be able to do. Jeff did it, and he won world championships with these guys, and I know that they loved him but he loved doing it, and he loved them just as much.
He literally loved those guys, just like he did the Andringas and the Sagasors and the Mike Richters here. Those guys had a special part in his life.
He's a supporter of hockey players, and he didn't treat anybody any different because they were male, female, hearing impaired, had disabilities. Hockey was hockey to him, and it was about the people in the game rather than who you were. And you know, I really learned a lot from him in terms of how you treat people.
You know, Coach was like a father to us, and we're going to miss him dearly. But I promise him, as I'll have our players, promise him that we will carry on his legacy with pride and with something he'd be very proud of.
From the first time I met him, he made me a member of his family. And what a great family it is. He was a compassionate, smart, loyal, generous, and had a big, big heart. He loved golf, and he loved pizza and beer. He was a good man who was taken from us way too soon. He is my hero. I will miss him more than words can say. Skate on, Coach.